PetSafe just gifted me their ScoopFree OpenSky automatic litter box, and I am really excited to put this one to the test. It is very comparable to some of the other open drum litter boxes I have tested, but this is a new release. It has new features, and I really do love the PetSafe brand and the simplicity they provide in their quite flawless automatic litter boxes. Let me show you exactly what you get. We're going to unbox this, set it up, and put it to the test. Now here's how it comes out of the box. I'm already loving how small it is. I think PetSafe makes some of the smallest footprint litter boxes that are still more open. They also have the Smart Spin box. I have tested that. One of my cats loved it. The other one was just too big for it. And that's where this one really comes in, is if you have a larger cat, this is a more open drum, so it'll be much more accessible. Now I do need to put it all together. It needs some legs. I need to set up this drum correctly. So let's do all of the setup. And that pretty much all comes in this accessory box here. It has these super cute wood frame legs that you just need to pop in. But let me take this drum off first so I can really access this. And I'm gonna bring you a little closer so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. Now here is the main body of the box. The pieces to note are that it has these great rubber wheels that are basically silent, that it will spin on. This little gear here is what makes the drum spin and hooks into the gears on the side of the drum. This locks the drum down into place, and this cover will open when it's dumping and stay closed otherwise, keeping the smells in the dirty litter drawer underneath. Now flipping it upside down, the first and only real task we need to do is add the legs, and they really do just pop right in. Once the legs are all in, I can see right here that this is where I need to plug in the cord. So I'll do that while I'm still upside down here. And it has a nice braided cord, really clean. I actually really like this plug too. That'll look good in my space. That is one thing that, again, I really love about PetSafe. This is a small footprint, and these boxes in particular just actually look good in your space. You can't say that for a lot of automatic boxes. So that's set up. And keep in mind, good is still compared to a manual box. You're still having a litter box in your space. So now we have the legs on, really cute. Let's put the drum back into position. Now the drum here locks itself into place, and then this cover will cover those gears on the side. And then when you look inside here, you will see a couple elements. This is your filter. So the litter, when it spins, all the clean litter will go underneath into this section under this plastic, and all of the dirty clumps will stay on top of this filter, and they'll dump down into the dirty litter drawer. This rubber piece is removable. They're not always the most fun to remove, but when needed, you can fully pop this out and fully clean it and then pop it back into place. And one of the reasons why you have this removable piece is not only to keep it clean, but it also is slightly weighted, and it's meant to pop up, helping any litter that's stuck to it to pop off of that and go on the filter and get dumped. Now, when it's doing a full dump of all the litter, you actually have this litter sifter cover. And all this is going to do is magnetically stick right on over that filter. So it's going to prevent any litter from being stored in the clean litter bin. And then when you tell it to dump, it will empty the entire bin. So when you're ready to clean it, this is a really easy way to clean it. You can also, of course, just detach the entire drum and dump it. You can hose this off outside, or I used to live in a condo with one of these and I would hose it out in our bathtub. Whatever works best for you. And then the final piece for setup is the dirty litter drawer. It has two different elements here. You have a little deodorizer bucket, and then you have the space for the dirty litter bag. And it does come with a great roll of bags. While you can often stick regular kitchen trash bags in these, it is nice to use the actual bags. They really are designed to best contain all of the dirty litter and just tuck on in. So you just want to get it on the back edge and then tuck it over that front edge, and that's ready to go. And then you have a 2-pack of the deodorizers. I will tell you right now that PetSafe deodorizers are my favorites. I actually really like the smell of these. It's just far less intrusive, really does a good job without me noticing too much of a deodorizer smell. And you just peel off this top piece and then tuck it on in. So now that's ready to go. One last thing on the drawer is it does give you a shortcut for what the screen on the front of the litter box is showing you. So if you ever have any questions, this will show you all of that information. But this just slides right in. I just need to turn this on, add some litter, and we can set up the app. Now I just poured a bunch of my favorite litter into it, World's Best Cat Litter, but I'll tell you right now that these boxes are great with really any litter, so choose the best litter for your kitties. Usually what your cat was using in whatever box you were using prior, you want to use that litter, and ideally even the used litter to start, just so they adapt easily to the new box. Poured that in, turned it on. That's all I've done so far. I do want to point out this great litter catch mat. This is a very standard mat, but it is nice. It has kind of a soft foamy top, and then you can pour any of the litter collected in it back into the box or into the trash can. And these are really easy to clean as well. When you need to, you can just hose them down with a hose or in your shower. Pretty straightforward there. Let's set up the app and go over all these buttons. Now I'm in the PetSafe app. This is available on the App Store and Google Play, and you will need a username and password. You can see I've had one box before, but I'm just going to hit the plus to add this box, and I'm going to hit Add Device, and I can choose to add manually, or I want to hold down this Wi-Fi button to have it start searching to connect, and now it has found this box. The first thing you'll want to do is enter your Wi-Fi information, and that is so you can check on this box while you're not home, control this box while you're not home, and be alerted if there are any issues, whether you're home or not. I think it's really important for all automatic boxes to have Wi-Fi if they have an app. So that's added successfully, and now I'm in. Now mine requires an update right off the bat, so I'm going to do that. You always want your automatic boxes to be fully up to date with the current firmware. So we'll see how long this takes. It took less than a minute, so that was quite quick. And now I can open this up and access it. And so now that I'm in, it looks like it's going to do a cleaning automatically. So now it is doing its first cleaning rotation. And how this works is it's going to rotate backwards, and it should collect all of the litter into that sifter since it is all clean right now. And if there's any overflow, if I filled it too much, it will dump some clean litter. So that's what's happening there. That's just because I gave it too much litter to start. And then it's going to dump that right into the dirty litter bin. So this is the one moment where if that dirty litter bin is getting really smelly, this is when you're going to smell it. You can also see that it's not closing completely. And so it still has this opening here. So if for any reason it did not recognize your cat's weight, which is one of its safety features, it's still not closing all the way. Though right here, this is a point to be aware of, is that it does close on that drawer, but I'm putting my hand in there. It doesn't hurt at all, and it just stops. So I can stick my hand in there and it's going to force it to stop completely. So if for any reason your cat got really curious and went in there, it's going to stop and it's going to wait until they leave, and then it will continue going forward. And that didn't hurt my fingers at all. I don't have any indents. Totally fine there. And now it's just going to level this litter back into the litter box. So that's how it runs. That is exactly what I expect. I love that it stopped when I put my hand in there. Really nice and clean. It does have one extra noise, which you may have heard at the end. It's kind of a whirring noise, and I'm pretty confident that's the opening and closing of the drawer over the top of the dirty litter drawer. So there's a little door that I showed you at the beginning, And I think it just has a little bit of a mechanism that opens and closes. But here we are in the app. At the top, it says it is not full. So it's giving you an update on the waste bin, and it will give you an update on your deodorizer when you last replaced it. Obviously, I just put it in today. And then you have the option to sift, which is cleaning, or add litter. If I click on add litter, it's going to just let me add the litter, and then it's going to recalibrate the weight. So it knows once I'm done what the weight of the entire litter box is. So I've added my litter. I'm just gonna hit check again. I'm finished. Super easy there. That's actually one of the easiest litter additions I have come across. You always want to inform your box somehow that you've added litter so it can recalibrate the weight so it knows when cats are jumping into it and which cat is jumping into it. Now for pet activity, obviously I have 0 visits today, and at the bottom it's going to have all activity. That cat inside the box, is it warning me that my fingers were inside the box at that one point? But you really can see everything it's done. And then we have some settings here. I can control when it cleans after a cat uses the box. I usually like to have it clean 4 minutes after. That's just long enough for my litter to fully set, but not long enough that the whole room starts smelling like my cat's dirty litter. And you can turn on or off the auto clean if you have kittens. You do not want this to auto clean. Or if your cat is new to automatic boxes, also, do not turn on auto clean. You'll want to manually clean it when you're in the room. Not meaning you have to scoop it, but you will need to just tell it to scoop when you're there. You can turn on child lock, and that will make all the buttons not work. And you can choose whether or not it reminds you to switch out that deodorizer, which I love, as I don't like reminders. So I'm going to turn that off. I can also turn off the indicator lights, and I can turn off the beep so it doesn't make any sounds. And this is really key to me, is it does have a sleep mode. And so if this is in your bedroom or maybe your office, somewhere where you don't want to run during certain periods of the day, you can have a sleep mode where it doesn't do anything during certain time periods. And then finally, you can control your unit of weight. And that's basically it. Now, it's not going to tell me which cat uses it, but it should tell me the cat's weight, when they used it, how long they used it. So we'll put that to the test. Overall, this is looking really nice. Let me go find my kitty. And before I find my kitty, let me just really quickly go over these buttons. This is your on-off button. This one is connecting to Wi-Fi. So if for any reason you're having a Wi-Fi issue, you'll want to press this again. This is your reset button. So if you are not using the app and you're adding litter, you'll want to press this to tell it to reset the weight. And then the final one is a play icon, and this will play or pause. So you can use this to tell it to clean or to stop. It's just your basic control here. And you can see all of that in this shortcut menu right here. This also is your resume button. So if for any reason it thinks a cat is in front of it or inside it and there isn't a cat there and you're just like, keep cleaning, you can press this and it will continue the cleaning cycle. So it's kind of an override. Now my ragdoll is not gonna be the happiest with me here, but I do want to see how well he fits inside this box. So we're going to stick him in and just let him check it out for a moment here. And he definitely fits. It is comparable to the drum he already uses. You can see right there that he could easily do his business in this. If you are switching from a manual box to an automatic box, this may seem extremely constricting and tiny, but you have to keep in mind that one of the reasons why manual boxes are so big is so we can take extra time before we clean them. Whereas this is going to stay clean all the time, and all your cat really needs to do is get their bum in there in some position and go. That's it. So one of my cats, the one that I no longer have, he would always stick his head out the front. And my ragdoll here, he actually jams his head in this back corner and always goes in the front. Your cat will have their own style, their own way of using this box, but I think this is one really nice box. Now I'm just going to put my hand in here for a minute to see if it will recognize this as a cat actually using the box, because I do want to see the app show cat activity. When a cat jumps in and out real quick, it won't track those because it assumes the cat didn't actually use the box, which is accurate. So I'm just going to stay here for a moment, and you can see a little paw image comes up here, meaning it recognizes a cat's inside the box. Now I'm going to hop out, and now it is blinking, meaning that it will clean in 4 minutes. It's just letting me know that it's aware that it's going to need to clean. Now the app shows that there was one actual visit. It shows the time, the duration, and the weight of the kitty, or in this instance, the weight of my hand. So very, very helpful. And over the course of a week, it will tell you all of the uses for your kitty. Now, obviously, I am new to the PetSafe ScoopFree OpenSky box, but given that the app works the exact same way as the PetSafe ScoopFree Smart Spin box and my experience with PetSafe in general, I am confident that this is going to be an excellent box all around. One of the things I really love about the PetSafe boxes are that they are just a little simpler in nature. They don't have a lot of the gimmicks a lot of the other boxes have, which some of those gimmicks, don't get me wrong, I really, really like them. But because they're simpler, I do find that they just work more flawlessly. There's less potential for issue. They're just very clean boxes that are giving you exactly what you need. They're also, in general, just a little bit easier to clean because there's just not as many components, and they're just really, really streamlined, can fit in a variety of spaces, and still look pretty darn good. So if you are watching this video and this box appeals to you, I think you're really, really gonna love this incredible box from PetSafe. I am so thrilled they gifted this to me. This is one really nice box.